Hey guys, welcome to video 10. We're going to be talking about the DJI Mini 2 and some hidden features and features which aren't well known about this drone. So stick around, hopefully you learn something, and let's get into it. So the DJI Mini 2 has some features on it within settings which you can't even do on other drones such as the DJI Air 2S. So I'm going to be covering them now and break them down. And the first one I'm going to be talking about is phone charging. So if you've got an iOS device and you plug your phone into this controller with the new DJI Mini 2 controller, within settings you can now charge your phone on the go. This is brilliant because there's been so many times where I've had quite a low battery on the phone and then it stopped me actually going out and filming, thinking I've only got 10% battery left, I'm not going to bother risking it. But you've got the option within settings to have phone charging on or off. If you've got an Android device, this is different and you don't have phone charging as an option. As soon as you connect it to this controller, it automatically will charge your phone. But the downside to that is it draws the power from this, so you're going to have to charge this more. So the next feature on this, which I use all the time, it's a brilliant cinematic angle to be able to use, is you can switch to your camera on your phone while still flying the drone. What does that mean? So when you're actually flying this drone and recording, you're getting everything from the actual gimbal camera. But we can't see this drone. So think about you're actually wanting to do a video and you want to actually show this drone taking off and landing. How are you going to do that? You can use your phone. So when you take off, you can go into the DJI Fly app, turn the propellers on like you would do normally, and then switch to your camera app. When you've got the camera app on, you can actually just push forward on the left stick here and the drone will then start to take off. But you can film that on your actual phone as well, and it's a great perspective to be able to see the drone and then going off into the distance. Then you can switch back to the DJI Fly app and then continue flying as normal. You can reverse that as well, so as the drone's coming down to land, you can switch to the actual camera on your phone and then you can record that drone landing, so you can see it landing. Keep pressing down and it will land, so you've got full control over these sticks and the gimbal wheel. Even when you're not on the DJI Fly app, you can do all the controls from this when you're actually on your phone camera app as well. So this is excellent and it's never crashed once. And if it does have any interference or cutting out, this will just return to its home location. So don't worry about that. With the latest update on the DJI Fly app, we saw the ability to change the orientation during return to home. You might have already done this, you might not. What does that mean? So when you're actually returning to home, if you press the return to home button, the drone will come back to you at the height you've set it at in a straight line. But as normally as it comes back here, just like on other drones, you can now change the orientation. So what does this do? Well, this produces an amazing cinematic shot. If you go, for instance, on a beach or anything where you've got a distance where you can see that drone in a straight line and you can control the orientation of it, so you're going to get a brilliant cinematic shot. So as it's coming back here, it's still coming back to you, but that drone will then turn to the left or to the right hand side and get a really smooth panning shot. Now this, with practice, can turn out to look fantastic. You can change the gimbal wheel while it's coming back, you can actually increase and decrease the altitude, you can turn the drone left and right. Practice it on a sort of a long straight piece of land or a beach, ideal. Practice it and your shots are amazing. Again, it's not really well covered, nothing's really documented heavily about this, but it's a brilliant feature and a feature I use all the time. I never ever used to use return to home unless it came on automatically. Now I use it a lot just to get that extra cinematic shot. So by using the Gimbal Pitch wheel here, you can control and turn the gimbal so it's up and down rotation. But do you know you can actually get an extra 20 degrees of upwards gimbal rotation? So within settings, you can actually go and actually select this on or off. Brilliant for when you're actually filming a tall building and you can't get high enough, you can actually just rotate it and you get an extra 20 degrees. I use it all the time, just so now I've got an extra 20 degrees of gimbal rotation. Keep it on all the time, it's brilliant. Do you like to actually view and want to know all the metadata about when it's actually flying? You can actually go into settings and you can select this to be turned on. Now when you're actually flying and recording, this is now storing all that information on the memory card. So when you plug your memory card into your laptop and you load up VLC player, you can click view subtitles, and then it will show you at the bottom of the screen when you're flying your drone all the information that the drone has recorded, such as the height, the distance, the speed. It's brilliant. It's able to show you all that information on here. So I know a lot of people like viewing all this afterwards when they're flying it, and it's a great way of doing it. So again, I just keep it on all the time, so if I do need to look back at it, I've got it there and it's all stored. So another great setting which you can do on the DJI Mini 2 and you can't do on the DJI Air 2S, I have no idea why, is the ability to auto sync HD photos. I can't stand that when I'm flying and taking pictures, I then have to sync them all afterwards. I just want them on my phone straight away. So again, go into settings and then allow auto photo syncing. And whenever you take a picture, this will automatically now be on your phone camera roll. So you don't have to do any transfers or any different syncing afterwards. It's automatically there. By default, this is off, so make sure you switch that on. Once it's been switched on, I've never turned it off. So the photos are there instantly for me to edit or post straight away afterwards. Talking of transfers, did you know that this DJI Mini 2 now has quick transfer? By holding down the button on the back of the drone, that will then turn blue when it's all connected, and then this allows you to then transfer files, photos and videos to your phone faster. It's not amazing, but it's better than it was originally. So if you are the person who uses DJI Fly App a lot, or you edit all your pictures and videos on your phone and you need that data from the actual memory card to your phone quickly without using a laptop or an iPad for instance, then using quick transfer, you're going to have faster speeds. Once you've done that, make sure you actually select the button again to put it back to normal flying mode. It actually switches it from the flying ability to quick transfer, then you need to switch it back. But another good setting to do. So I recently put a Insta360 Go 2 on this drone and was flying around, and you get payload messages. So if you're going to be sticking something on this, then you need to activate payload mode. Sometimes it automatically comes on, but you can switch it off. In payload mode, you are restricted based on height and distance, so you can only go a certain distance away and it's a lot slower. But you can turn that off within settings. If we go to payload mode, switch that on or off. If it auto comes on, you can switch it off, and then you're responsible then if you're actually wanting to increase that speed or that distance and you're carrying something. Just beware, whatever you've put on this drone, if that payload mode auto comes on or it goes on that 250 gram mark, not only are you then moving into the restriction flying, but you're going to put more pressure on this relating to the battery life. So you're going to get a decreasement in battery life, so don't go flying far. But if you want to turn that payload setting off just so you can get an extra, say, 100 meters away, or to be able to go faster, payload mode can be turned off. So on the controller, it also has a pause button. So if you hold this down for 2 seconds, it will activate return to home. The drone will come straight back to you. But it also has a pause button. Now, not many people know or use this, but just a quick press on that button there will actually put the drone into pause mode. So what does this do? So if you're flying the drone, automatically you see a big flock of birds or some people and you need to stop it quickly. This rapidly just stops it like that. So if you just press the pause button, no matter what speed it's going, it will automatically stop as fast as it possibly can. And it usually does it quicker than I can just actually release or pull backwards on the stick myself. And then it will just hover then in place until you push up on the stick, and then you've got full control. Unless you press up on it, it will just remain in pause mode. So this is a brilliant safety feature. This is fantastic also for beginners. If you're flying and you see in the camera and you misjudge something and you think, oh my god, there's a tree coming up and I'm going really fast, press that pause button and you've got more chance of it actually stopping. It banks backwards to try and slow and stop down as fast as possible. So that pause button is great and something to be aware about, but make sure it's just a quick press on the pause button, not a long press, and it will stop instantly. And the final one, just like me, like I did, I forgot once. I went to actually shoot and these sticks were not on the controller on the slots at the bottom there. I just forgot them completely. So I was like, what the hell should I do now? But you can actually control this drone fairly well, to be fair, with just these thumb wheels here. You don't need these sticks. So if you forget the sticks for some reason, you've not got a spare set in your bag, then don't worry, don't just not shoot at all. You can still have full control completely of this drone. It works exactly the same. Nothing's different at all. So use the thumb wheels if you forget the sticks. just like I did. So out of those Mini 2 secrets within the settings, some of them are hidden, some of them just aren't really talked about well. The auto sync HD photos and the ability to change the orientation of the drone, and we haven't even touched on the fact that you can zoom in on photos. You can't do any of them on the DJI Air 2S, and at the moment you can only do them on this little beast. So this is fantastic. All the DJI drones are fantastic, to be fair, but I love some of the features into this, and I hope you learned something today. If you did, please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you found that helpful and useful, and go and test some of these out if you haven't already. See you soon, guys. Take care. Bye bye.